Mwamba takes a long shot. Filipowski was there on the rebound by Whitehead.
Wow, 0 for 12 to start, 7 of them three-pointers.
I mean, we've played 8 minutes and they haven't scored.
Ryan Young off the bench and in for 2. Fourth in terms of rebounding margin among major conference schools. Purdue, UConn, Kentucky, and Duke. The top 4 back in the game. Ryan Young chiseling in to Vanover.
Grandison lets fly. Can't bury that one. Mitchell beats everyone to the ball. Whitehead lays it off, and Young finishes the play.
Well, Duke's taking the risk because they're not as concerned about a 3 being hit if he passes out. Young with the offensive rebound.
A couple of those earlier in the half, and we're inside 2 minutes.
They clear out everybody to the opposite side. Let Ryan Young get to the midline.
Young! Use that football. Jacob Grandison. Young with the offensive rebound. And he puts it back.
Out roaring because the legendary Blue Devil Grant Hill is in attendance here tonight. There's Ryan Young, who came into the ball game during the dead ball along with Joe.
Whitehead has been outstanding the last few games. Young will finish that one as he sticks it.
He loves this school. He loves this school. 62 years. He's been here since the day he enrolled in 1962. Served as a player, assistant coach, and 47 years as a head coach. Come on, that's bleeding Syracuse orange. Your guy Lasoni, still he say, a nice play with the inside out. We're going to get him some shots. Get him some shots. It's tough to pressure this team. We're going to a little full-court trap. 1-2-1-1.
Trying to break it. Whitehead's got to it.
Just had a turnover there. He's the heart and soul of this team, right there with the ball. The veteran, Mr. Roach. He understands how to play, great IQ, feel for the game.
Tough drive, nice shovel pass for 2.
Thank you, Mr.
Galen Blakes pushes to Roach. Roach gets inside. Young with the offensive rebound, and Young puts it back. Drought for the Irish, he has a half dozen.
Really good execution by Notre Dame. I think everyone got a touch that time.
Little high-low Goodwin got a hand on it, but Young is able to finish and draw the foul. They didn't have enough problems. Now their most potent offensive weapon is on the bench with 4 fouls. There's just under 16 minutes to play. Here's Tyrese Proctor. Whitehead liked that corner 3. Good closeout by the Irish. Ryan Young, very productive in the first half, and he continues here.
Here they are in transition again. Long adjusted midair, but couldn't finish with the left hand. Young a touch down low, and he finishes tremendously. Back threw it too high for O'Meara. And Young flying down the court. The handoff to Pat. And Blake's down with it for Duke.
Good job. I'm not going to go to bed early tonight because of the way his team is playing. I'm telling you, this is a feeling when you get when your team is on fire, because all the stuff they're doing, Dan, it's practice.
Yeah.
It's the classroom, and that's what he is. He's a professor.
So Chad O'Meara, 1 for 10 from three-point range on the season. 2 for 2 tonight. Young with the lay-in. Let's go to.
Said best today at practice. You'd want your son to play.
Oh, you'd send your kid to play for him in a heartbeat.
Yep. He's the ultimate teacher, professor.
Let's bring in Trey again.
You guys just mentioned the money clip from Coach Larrañaga, but also earlier in the game, he yelled out onto the court to A.J. Casey to tuck his jersey in. So still sticking with some of those.
To the basket and presenting himself. They stay with the ball too long, and they just drop it off to him.
5 field goals for Carolina, Jay. R.J. Davis has scored 2 of them and assisted on the other 3. Grandison
Off to Young. Pretty two-man back.
From Wake Forest again. Filipowski muscling his way in. And the follow and one from Ryan Young. And it's a 10-point lead. Headed toward the 12-minute mark to play here in Cameron. Young avoided the temptation to give the hip check and pays it off with a layup.
I mean, back-to-back turnovers coming off the timeout when you know you get it to 8 points. Off the free throw.
Filipowski, a great bounce pass to Young.
Players and not the guy out of bounds until he passes the ball in bounds there.
Quickly moved for Young. Passing out of the post. Good interior passing. Young finishes.
He's one guy that can make plays for himself and his teammates. They got to rebound these baskets here. There it is.
Smith got there and then tried to save it. Threw it back out. Young underneath. Scores.
Just tough.
A lot of space for Jalen Moore. He's only hit 3 triples this season.
Yeah, Duke's the other. I think that's their similar game plan there as well against Georgia Tech. They want to force them to knock down shots, and right now Duke's making them and Georgia Tech's not.
Young going to work again, and Ryan Young is cooking.
He's really good.
Came out negative. John Shire said Derek is relieved at the results he got. Shire told us pregame that it's a ligament strain. It's not a kick through behind the scenes midway through this second half on the flats. Tyrese Proctor's been great. He's got a season-high 8 assists. Good feed for Young from Grandison.
And if you look at the benches for both these teams, you see the Blue Devils coaching staff with their suits and sneakers on, and suits and sneakers week. Virginia Tech chose to wear the black pullovers because it is a blackout. That's the only reason Mike Young, who normally wears a suit anyway, and his staff don't have on suits today.
Over the top. Young downstairs. Got that one to go. Except for the last one against Clemson. Proctor will lift. It barely got to the iron, but right back up and in by the...
Tough bucket on one end. Basile doing the same here for the Hokies.
Well, he's got 20 points. He had 26 and 10 in the loss at Syracuse. So he can be a major factor offensively. Proctor wants Young. Yes, sir.
He's actually a Knowles fan, believe it or not. Spent some time in Tallahassee in the offseason.
We had him in Boston. He did a great job for us catching. That's before he was a manager. He's done a pretty good job there, too. Here's Proctor outside the 3, now inside. Under 3 minutes to go. Roach. Proctor again. Shot clock at 5. Proctor with the kick. Young the other side of the rim for 2.
He's got that Stars kind of name. Jordan Miller just has that name. I guess anytime you hear Jordan, you think Star. S-T-A-R. I can even spell that. Maybe I can get into Duke now, graduate school.
Like Washuzin.
No, it doesn't.
No, yeah, you're right. It doesn't have a star ring to it.
S-C-H-U-S-E-N.
Oh, you're on scholarship.
Wow.
Really good job. Stealing inside is Young. An easy 2.
% in ACC play from out there.
Proctor. He drives the offense for Coach Shire. Mitchell trying to find a path on Tyson.
Clemson's really good at cutting off those driving lanes.
Young got loose and scores. Filipowski returns for Grandison's 3. Off the mark. Young the rebound. Second chance for the Blue Devils, and Ryan Young on the board. Coliseum.
Tyson has, in this half, Wes, he has started out very aggressively. You just have to be hard to guard. You can't stand around and let people defend you.
Young trying to find a seam on Hall. Now Whitehead off a Young screen. Backdoor cut, scoop and score for Ryan Young. Second half. Mitchell, Young, Proctor, Filipowski, Whitehead out there for the Blue Devils. Federico with Elliott, Henson, Cummings, and Jamarius Burton.
Now Federico and Burton both have the 2 personal fouls.
Proctor playing with 2 as well for Duke, and there is Young.
But there was a lot of arc on that ball.
Proctor will put it in play. The foul was on Elliott. It was his second. There's Young weaving through with a right-hand battle for the ball. Blakes has got it. Here's Young. Got it blocked from behind by Federico. Cleans it up.
What's going on out here, Wes? The game is scattered here in the first 2.5. Here is Proctor. Inside catch, score in the bucket for Proctor.
Filipowski's a tough matchup for McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Particularly if Filipowski's going to go inside.
Here's Young, reverses back, up and under, and a good basket.
Roach should have passed that ball ahead to Derek Whitehead.
Mitchell working on Morcell. On the drive, feeds Young. Nicely done. First basket for Ryan.
Sure, first shot, it doesn't count.
Joyner, 3-ball. Back rim, Whitehead. Tough rebound in traffic. Transition, here's Grandison. Feeding Young. Mitchell right back to Young and one.
Mitchell's done.
Was 9-1 on the road last year in the ACC. They lost their first road conference game at Wake Forest before Christmas and trail 22 as we go to half 2. Shire's team with the ball here.
The defensive intensity in the first half by North Carolina State was just something to behold, and you wonder if they can maintain that here in the second.
Lively on the bench. Young and Filipowski start together, and there's Ryan Young. He's now got 8.
Up goes the 3, down goes the basket. Joyner has 8 assists.
No turnovers.
That's an 8-0 North Carolina State run, Wes, in 48 seconds.
Yep. And they've doubled the number again. Young working on Dewana. Burrows down and scores easily. Double figures.
I'm not going to mess up the moneymaker, Ovi. You know how this goes. Oh, I believe me. I mean, America would weep if anything comes between you and the moneymaker. FSU by 2. Foul moment ago on Darren Green of FSU. Battling in close, and that's a strong move by Ryan. It hasn't been much of a consistent lineup at all for the Noles. Roach off target. Young with a big offensive rebound. That really is his bailiwick. Look at him work for 2 more. Winningest player in Florida State history. He asked Trent this summer. Now, Trent has played in the NBA, this, that, and other. He says, how many minutes do you think you could have played in our style and outpaced the way that I wanted to play? Trent Forrest told him 24 minutes. That was the max. In a 40-minute game, he felt like he could play 24 minutes Florida State style. And that's saying a lot of a guy who won more games than uniform than him. Young underneath. He's been a real top. Swishes it in. Boy, his shot-making ability is so true. Yeah, Green doesn't need any plays run for him. Just put the basketball in his hands. He can go get one on his own. Again, making threes, too, to the tune of 44% for FSU. They've needed all of it so far today. Young to the lane. Yes, that's a pretty shot off the window. Cleveland from 17 feet, no. Coming off a disappointing loss to Wake Forest, even though they had a couple of players out. And Lively and Whitehead, they both ill, didn't make that trip. Young again. Man, what a story. It's not the students. The Cameron Crazies in somewhat sync. Not as in sync as we were fine with the Cameron Crazies, but we've got to give it to, we'll say, the other Cameron Crazies coming in and doing the job here. You said the veteran crew. Young rolling and a layup, and they run the play for him. And he shot clock to 2. Here's Mitchell airborne. Out. Rebound up and in by the hard-working Young. And
Hildreth in the post, comes up short, well defended by Proctor.
Hildreth in that situation, he's just got to find the open man. I'm not sure that that's going to work very often against Proctor. Proctor is 6'5", 175 pounds. Hildreth has himself mismatched inside against Filipowski.
Instead, it's Young going to work on Marsh.
Wake Forest so far has made 4 3-pointers and by 4 different guys, and the Deeks can be very effective when they don't turn it over and they're making 3.
Ryan Young on the finish. Good feed from
out on the perimeter.
They can run, Jaden shoot off screens.
Well, you got to guard somebody named Shoot.
Oh, good footwork from Ryan Young. On the step through, finish.
Now that's the first time he's gone all the way to the goal. I think he confused the Blue Devil.
Young responds. He's 11 for the Demon Deacons against the number 14 team in the country. Grandison, no. Young cleans it up. Back down to single.
Raj. Yeah, the pace of the game when you go from high school to college, I think folks underestimate how different that is. And he was coming out of Australia. He had a high-level program he was playing in down there, but a bit different animal as Ryan Young posts up. Finishes at the rim. Transfer from Northwestern. He, after his battle with cancer, back on the sidelines this year, calling some of the biggest games in college hoops. What he's done for college basketball is one thing. What he's done in raising money for cancer is truly his legacy.
It definitely is, and he was a legend before. And now he's just among rarefied air.
I think that Chris Holtman's going to have a team that's going to win a lot of games. Very physical. I like their young kids, Sansama, Thornton. So now they're playing Iowa. So it's 3 Big Ten games.
Young trying to back down to Rebracha, and he wins the battle.
In the win against Rhode Island.
And Wes, you can't ask for a better start if you're Boston College and Earl Grant. Everything at the basket, and you're getting high percentage shots.
Ryan Young, a little shot fake and easy layup for the Northwestern grad transfer. I think Ryan Young is a integral part of what Duke. 136 games with the college. Here is Young inside again. That's 4 in a row for Ryan Young. I read a preseason article on Young where they described him as a guy that creates issues.
He's not a good player.
Duke by 2 with the basketball. Inside the last 5 minutes of the first half, Eric Cameron. Proctor. Lakes will feed the big.
Nice pass.
Standing pass inside, and Young knew exactly what to do with it. And Duke with 9 so far. There's a ball that stopped, so play's gotten crisper.
One thing I like about the Buckeyes, too, they play hard. That's a reflection of your coach. That's a reflection of a guy who's teaching them, who they're buying into what he wants done. They really seem focused defensively. And we're playing loose home right now. Oh, what a great up and low.
Young with a dribble down and finishes that.
You're kidding me. 500.
Look at the bench points. That's such a key for Duke. 22 of them off the pine tonight for John Shire's team. Hand off here for Roach. Proctor outside. Shot clock down to 6. With the bounce speed and a dandy for Young.
As Purdue pulls closer now within 1.
Fletcher Lawyer is so good getting his feet set and into his shot. His shot preparation with his feet is impeccable, and that was a great shot fake.
The immediate double on Young, who's been terrific off the bench for the Blue Devils so far this year. Blake's back to Young for the easy 2.
Most impressive, the attack to the right, the behind-the-back dribble, the pull-up jumper, showing off all the skills as Ryan Young gets it easy for the game.
Okay.
Sule Boone with a big 3. Once again, a 1 possession. But for Xavier, they haven't been able to get over the hump. And a lot of that has to do with Jeremy Roach making the right plays. Ball turnover. And now Duke is not having to play with the advantage. I understand not wanting to turnover, but still.
And instead, Des Claude with a tremendous move to make it a 1-possession ball game. 5.5 to go. Mitchell into Young. Bodied up by Nunji. This 5th-year player going to work.
How valuable.
A little trouble. Finds a teammate. Beavers keep possession with 15 to shoot, and then they give it away.
Blake's doing a great job defensively as well. That's one of the biggest differences in this Duke team. We mentioned they're top 10 nationally, only allowing 53.2 points per game. And now Jeremy, for all that he has done, not just for sports, but especially for basketball.
Well, it is truly a quadruple tournament extravaganza. 4 brackets, 3 arenas, and we have Coach Knight sitting, or rather Phil Knight, sitting 10 feet from us.
There's my guy.
There he is.
You didn't take a picture, though.
No, but we had a great conversation before the game. I appreciate the time. I mean, he's the
to return.
Just, you know, he relates to players really well. This year I feel like he's got a very good energy about himself every day.
Because he's not fearful of them as three-point shooters.
Akano. Now, it's in moments like this where you're facing a little adversity. I would assume most of the Duke players are looking to Jeremy Roach.
And the thing is you can't just pass the ball around the perimeter looking for threes. You've got to find a way to get inside the painted area, which they do a great job there.
Shot clock below 10. Proctor on a jab step. Triggers. Bounces out. Offensive rebound, Young, and the stick back.
He's practiced for about 2 weeks, probably full contact for about a week up to this point.
Nice duck in. Free ball for Kevin Riley. He's been impressive off the bench. 31-22, nice feet underneath. And the layup is good by Ryan Young. Davis again. Run out rebound for Proctor.
And Proctor's been a little quiet offensively in the second half.
Nice running the floor right straight down the pipe.
His head. Bill Self has always been known for that.
What a crossover by Roach, the follow by Young.
Great. You can't really fake going backdoor. You just have to go.
Young. He's got some moves down there, and it'll go. Getting inside's the way to go. McCullough moving without the ball.
Great offensive rebound by Wilson and a terrific cut.
Boy, how about Jalen Blake's kind of take
For Rideau, excuse me. He had about 3 seconds left and just chucked it. Ryan Young back in the game trying to set the screen for Blakes. Reverse to Tyrese Proctor. Proctor still looking for his first points, but nice pass and an extra pass. From the Big Ten. Okay, to stop the ball. He's maybe the best player in the ACC.
Getting blocked is almost like a live ball turnover.
Great run by Ryan Young. Good find by Roach and the basket.
Gaining in this game.
That's a number that I think people always look at, like what is their three-point field goal percentage defense. It's misleading. The best number, I think, to your point earlier, is when you limit their attempts. It's three-point field goal attempts to two-point attempts. If that number's small, then you run them up the line. That's what you really want to do.
And that's the best way to guard the three-point shot is don't allow it.
Young on the duck in. Spins to his right. Oh, man game.
With discipline. They're always going to be prepared, but are they going to be disciplined?
They not really nice finish by Young and one.
Touches.
Haven't seen too much from Tyrese Proctor tonight. He takes the ball up here. Prospect that reclassified from 2023 to 2022 comes over from Australia. Number 5 in white. They have high hopes for him. Here he is with the ball, gets it inside. Excellent passing. Ryan Young, an easy finish inside.
Yeah, and it's going to make for some competitive practices because guys are going to be fighting for minutes when they get back whole and get everybody healthy on this roster.
Yeah, still waiting on Lively and Whitehead. Look at that roster by class. Almost all freshmen. They mix in those four. Jacksonville on a scoring drought of 3 minutes now. Danger zone for the Dolphins as Dukes begins to separate themselves in the home opener here. Wide open underneath. Ryan Young back-to-back.
Excellent passing, but again, back to his basketball IQ. That's what he brings to the table, Ryan Young, the transfer from Northwestern.
Jacksonville scoreless in the last 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Meanwhile, Duke has made their last 3 attempts. Ryan Young, Duke's on ACC Network. Impressive. That crew's on the move. They were here for halftime and before the game, and now over to Chapel Hill. Luckily, an easy drive right down the road. You know, you look at that ACC poll, Duke number 2. You know, Blue Devils, you're going to give them respect because of the history, and obviously on paper they look.
one's swiped away by Ryan Young. He's making a big impact on both ends of the floor tonight, the transfer from Northwestern. How do you not love his energy, the way he plays, attacks the game?
I'll tell you who loves it, this Duke coaching staff. And that's what they needed. That's what you want your older guys, a veteran guy, doing.
Right on cue, Ryan Young.